Welcome back. Hey, thank you for joining me. We are talking about finding zeros to functions by using factoring. And in order to use factoring, you need to understand how to perform FOIL in order to check your answers. Now, I would like to go over the different types of factoring in this part 4 video of answering questions referring to finding zero or zeros to a function. So let's just dive right in and get to it. Again, thank you for joining me. X squared plus 7x plus 10. I want to factor, right? I'm not solving for zeros right now. I'm just showing you multiple different ways and different types of factoring. And here we're going to be factoring the trinomial. And so we have that here, x squared plus 7x plus 10. So the first step you're going to want to take is you want to find two numbers that will multiply to 10 but add up to 7. And I'll explain a little bit of why that is if you don't know already, right? Again, two numbers that will multiply to 10 and add up to 7. So here I've got a couple of, I have a factor tree, what I call a little factor tree. And you're going to show all the multiples of 10, right? Because we want two numbers that multiply to 10 and add up to a positive 7. So 1 times 10 is 10. Negative 1 times a negative 10 is a positive 10. 2 times 5 would give me a positive 10. And a negative 2 times a negative 5 would also give me a positive 10. Well, which one of these different factors would add up to a positive 7? That's my middle term right here. And so I need two numbers that multiply to 10, add up to 7. Those numbers are going to go inside those parentheses if you've been following along with my videos. And so, yeah, 2 times 5 gives me a positive 10, and 2 plus 5 gives me a positive 7. So 2 and 5 are going to be the two terms I use in order to factor this expression here. So follow with me, please, and we will continue on. Step 2, because we know, right, we're going to set up a couple of x's inside our parentheses like I've shown you down here below. And in step 2, because we know that 1x to the first power times 1x to the first power equals x squared. And remember, our expression started with x squared. And so I can set this up with two sets of parentheses. X times x is going to give me that x squared. Okay, now I needed two numbers that multiply to 10 but add up to a positive 7. We found that. So this is how you're going to set up FOIL. All right, so you remember FOIL is the inverse or the opposite operation of factoring trinomials, right? That's FOIL. I'm sorry, you should think of it as reverse FOIL, right? It's reverse. It's coming up with those terms that you're going to FOIL, because once you perform the FOIL, you're checking your answer. So I know, let me bring this down a little bit. I know 2 times 5 is 10 and 2 plus 5 is 7. Remember, that was my middle term. I'm going to bring it down here. 7. When you add them together, you get 7. When you multiply them, you get 2. And again, we started with that x squared. That's x times x. So as we move forward, you can set up your reverse FOIL. We're factoring here with x plus and an x plus inside parentheses. Now we're just going to put that 2 and the 5 inside. Since they're both positive, they'll stay positive. And as you can see, x plus 2 times the quantity of x plus 5 is the factor of x squared plus 7x plus 10. Now you're going to check your answers. How are you going to check your answers? You're going to perform FOIL. You're going to FOIL, or distribute, I guess is another way. Excuse me, that was kind of sloppy. I apologize. you're going to FOIL or distribute these terms, right? You're going to distribute. You're going to multiply x times x, x times 5. Then you're going to multiply 2 times x, 2 times 5. Then you're going to combine like terms, and if the term or expression you find is the same expression you started with, you know you factored correctly, right? So again, since FOIL is the inverse or opposite operation, you use FOIL to check your answer. So again, x times x, x times 5, 2 times x, and 2 times 5. That's what I'm showing you here below, as you can see here. And so what I'm going to do is combine these terms and put them together in just a moment, but I'd like to explain. I got a little bit of time here. FOIL, first term times first term. That's x times x. Now again, there's an invisible 1 in front of that x. 1 times 1 is 1x. When you multiply, the bases are the same. You add the exponents. There's an invisible 1 in each of those exponents place, which gives you 1x squared. Right? I'm going to add that to these all of these terms and put them together, combining like terms, and then I'm done. Outer term, 1x times 5. 5 times 1 is 5. That x is attached through multiplication. I'm going to add this to the next term. 1x times 2. That's the inner terms, right? 1 times 2 is 2. That x is attached through multiplication. I'm going to add that term to my next term, my last terms. Positive 2 times positive 5 gives me positive 10. And can you see here how you were going to add and combine these two like terms? 5 plus 2 is 7. 2 times 5 is 10. That's how you come up with the terms to place inside those parentheses in order to factor or create what's called a reverse FOIL. So looking here, again, you're going to combine those like terms I had from above, which just simply means add the terms together that share the same letter, the same exponential power. These are to the invisible 1. They're both x. 5 plus 2 is 7. I don't have any other like terms to the second power of x. I don't have any other consonants or whole numbers, so those will just be rewritten. X squared plus 7x plus 10. Hey, is this the same expression that we started with that you see below? X squared plus 7x plus 10. It absolutely is. Yes, then you have factored correctly. So again, using FOIL is a way to check your answers after you have factored. Now I've got a bunch of other examples I'm going to show you regarding FOIL. It gets pretty complicated just in the means of you have a bunch of terms that you're putting together. Because again, there's multiple different ways to factor. And I want to show you each and every way how to factor. But first I need to help you understand how to check your answers by performing FOIL. Hey, thank you for joining me in this part 3. I'm sorry, excuse me, back up a little bit. Get that tongue out of the way. Part 4 video of understanding, finding zeros of functions, and more specifically, how to FOIL to check your answer. Hey, if these videos have helped you, please help me. Thank you for joining me. Math is easy. Take it step by step.